What if motivation is not the key to your success, but the cage that keeps you from it? We live in a world that worships the fleeting feeling of inspiration, but the Stoics knew a deeper truth. The greatest achievements and the most unshakable minds are built not on the shifting sands of emotion, but on the bedrock of discipline. Stop waiting for motivation. Daily Discipline, Stoicism, compiled and published by Stoic ruler. Lesson 1. Discipline as the path to freedom. Imagine a master concert pianist sitting down to play a complex and beautiful sonata. Their fingers dance across the keys with a breathtaking freedom, expressing deep emotion and sublime artistry. This freedom is not an accident. It was earned through thousands of hours of restrictive, repetitive, and often tedious practice. The disciplined drilling of scales, chords, and exercises. The discipline was not the enemy of their freedom. It was the very path that created it. The inner conflict we all face is a deep misunderstanding of this relationship. We see discipline as a prison. We believe it is a grim, joyless restriction on our spontaneity and our freedom. We want to be free, so we resist the very structure that would allow us to fly. The fundamental problem with this mindset is that the freedom we think we are protecting is actually a more insidious form of slavery. A life without discipline is a life of slavery to your moods. You can only work when you feel motivated. You can only be kind when you feel happy. You can only exercise when you feel energetic. This is not freedom. It is a tiny cage, its walls built from your own fleeting emotions and impulses. You become a slave to your own laziness, your own appetites, and your own procrastination. You are free only to do what is easy, which means you are not free to achieve anything of great difficulty or worth. This resistance to discipline is a rebellion that only strengthens the bars of your own cage. The transformative solution is to completely reframe your understanding of discipline. You must learn to see discipline not as a restriction, but as the ultimate form of liberation. It is the key that unlocks the cage of your moods. The core Stoic idea is that true freedom is not the ability to do whatever you feel like doing, but the ability to do what your rational mind knows is right, regardless of how you feel. Discipline is the tool that forges this power. It is the bridge between your aspirations and your reality. It is the deliberate training of your will that allows you to break free from the tyranny of your own weaker self. The restrictive scales are what give the pianist the freedom to create beautiful music. Your daily discipline is what will give you the freedom to create a beautiful life. You can begin to build this liberating discipline with a simple but profoundly effective technique. The 2-minute rule. Whatever new habit you wish to build, your commitment is to do it for just 2 minutes. If you want to read more, commit to reading 1 page. If you want to exercise, commit to putting on your workout clothes and doing 1 push-up. If you want to meditate, commit to sitting in silence for just 1 minute. The goal is not to achieve a result in those 2 minutes. The goal is to overcome the immense inertia of starting. Anyone can do anything for 2 minutes. This small, consistent act begins to rewire your brain and build the identity of a person who shows up. It is the first step in breaking the chains of "I don't feel like it." The benefits of embracing discipline as freedom are nothing short of life-changing. You will be liberated from the frustrating cycle of procrastination and regret. You will develop a powerful sense of agency over your own life, knowing that you are the one in command, not your moods. You will begin to make steady, undeniable progress toward your most important goals. You will build a deep and unshakable trust in yourself, knowing that you are a person who keeps their promises, especially the ones they make to themselves. Your practice for this lesson is to choose one important habit you've been putting off. For the next 7 days, commit to practicing the 2-minute rule with it. Just show up for 2 minutes. Feel the freedom in that small act of control. This path to freedom is paved not with grand gestures, but with the quiet art of consistent daily action. In our next lesson, we will explore this essential principle. If you are ready to unlock your own cage, please show your support by liking this video. Lesson 2: The Art of Consistent Action. Imagine a single drop of water falling onto a massive granite boulder. the act is insignificant, powerless, and seemingly futile. The drop makes no discernible impact. But imagine that drop falling in the exact same spot once every few seconds for 100 years. That gentle, consistent action will wear a hole straight through the hardest rock. This is the paradoxical and immense power of consistent action. The inner conflict we face is our culture's obsession with intensity and the grand gesture. We are inspired by stories of dramatic, overnight success. This leads us to believe that progress requires massive, heroic bursts of effort. We go to the gym for 3 hours, get incredibly sore, and then don't go back for a month. We get a flash of motivation, work on a project for 12 hours straight, and then burn out completely. The problem with this intensity-based approach is that it is fundamentally unsustainable. These heroic bursts of effort are like flash floods, dramatic and powerful for a moment, but they quickly recede, leaving the landscape largely unchanged. They lead to a cycle of burnout, guilt, and inaction. You feel like a failure because you cannot maintain that impossible level of intensity, so you give up entirely until the next fleeting wave of motivation strikes. The truth is, the grand gesture is almost always less powerful than the small, humble, daily habit. The person who works for 3 hours once a month is surpassed by the person who works for just 15 minutes every single day. The consistent drip will always wear away the stone faster than the occasional flood. The transformative solution is to fall in love with the quiet, unglamorous, and supremely powerful art of consistent action. It is the choice to become the water droplet, patiently and persistently, applying effort day after day. The core Stoic idea is that our character is not the product of a single heroic choice, but the sum of our thousands of daily habits and actions. A Stoic life is built not in a day, but day by day. Consistency is the process by which philosophy is transformed from a set of abstract ideas into a living, breathing character. It is the slow, steady grinding that polishes the rough stone of our potential into the smooth gem of a virtuous soul. You can begin to harness the power of consistency with a simple but powerful method known as the don't break the chain technique. First, choose your one small daily habit, the one you are practicing with the 2-minute rule. Second, get a large wall calendar. For every single day that you successfully complete your habit, put a big satisfying X over that day. Soon, you will have a chain of X's. Your only job every single day is to not break the chain. The goal is not to have a heroic workout or to write a perfect chapter. The goal is simply to put another X on the calendar. This shifts your focus from the intensity of the single action to the consistency of the pattern, which is far more motivating and sustainable over the long term. The benefits of embracing consistent action are the benefits of harnessing one of the most powerful forces in the universe. You will achieve your long-term goals with a sense of calm, steady, and inevitable progress. You will eliminate the destructive cycle of burnout and guilt. You will build a powerful momentum that makes continuing your habits easier and easier over time. You will forge an identity as a disciplined and reliable person, built on the undeniable evidence of your daily actions. You will become the steady, persistent force that can wear away any obstacle in your path. Your practice is to get a calendar and start your chain today. Choose your small habit, do it, and mark your first X. Your only job tomorrow is to do it again. This consistency is most powerfully tested in our ability to control our daily reactions. In our next lesson, we will explore how mastering your reactions gives you control over your entire life. To continue this journey, please subscribe to the Stoic Ruler channel. Lesson 3. Control your reactions, control your life. Imagine a massive, powerful ship sailing across the ocean. The ship is subject to immense external forces: the wind, the waves, the currents. It cannot control these things. But there's a small, hidden component that determines its ultimate destination: the rudder. With small, precise movements, the rudder can steer the entire vessel, using the power of the wind and waves to guide it toward its chosen port. Your emotional reactions are the rudder of your life. The inner conflict we face is the pervasive and disempowering belief that our reactions are not our choice. We say, "He made me angry," or "This traffic is stressing me out," as if we were passive victims of our own feelings. The fundamental problem with this belief is that if your reactions are not your choice, then you have completely surrendered control of your life to external events and other people. You have become a ship without a rudder, destined to be pushed around by every random wind of circumstance and every emotional wave created by others. Anyone who knows how to provoke you becomes your master. Any inconvenience becomes a source of genuine suffering. You live in a state of psychological reactivity, your inner peace constantly being held hostage by a world you cannot control. This is the very definition of slavery, and it is a state we often impose upon ourselves. The transformative solution is to seize control of your rudder. It is the profound Stoic realization that while you can almost never control what happens to you, you always have absolute control over your response. The core teaching of the philosopher Epictetus is that it is not events that disturb us, but our judgment about events. The insult is not what causes anger. It is your judgment that the insult is a terrible, unbearable offense that causes the anger. By mastering the space between the external event, the stimulus, and your internal reaction, you reclaim your power. You become the skilled captain who can use any wind, even a storm, to guide your ship toward your destination. This is the source of all human freedom and power. You can begin to take control of your rudder with the foundational Stoic practice of separating impression from judgment. First, when a negative event occurs, make a conscious effort to see it simply as an impression, a raw piece of data. Your practice is to describe it to yourself in the most objective, unemotional language possible. For example, instead of, "My boss yelled at me and humiliated me," the objective impression is, "My boss spoke to me in a loud voice and criticized my work in front of others." This separation strips the event of its initial emotional charge. The second step is to consciously choose your judgment. Instead of automatically judging the event as terrible or unjust, you can choose a more rational and useful judgment, such as, "His behavior is a reflection of his own lack of self-control. It is unfortunate, but it does not diminish my worth. What can I learn from this?" The benefits of mastering your reactions are the benefits of becoming the ruler of your own life. You will be freed from the emotional roller coaster caused by external events. You will experience a deep and abiding sense of inner peace and control, knowing that your tranquility comes from within and cannot be taken away. Your relationships and decision-making will improve dramatically as you begin to respond to situations with wisdom and calm, rather than with blind reactivity. You will become an anchor of stability for yourself and for those around you. Your practice for this lesson is to identify one small annoyance you are likely to face today. Pre-plan your disciplined response. Decide now that you will meet that event with calm and reason. This control is not built overnight. It is built by stacking small, consistent wins that forge our resilience. In our next lesson, we will explore how to build this resilience. Let us know in the comments one reaction you are working to control. Lesson 4. Building resilience through small wins. Imagine a person setting out to learn how to lift weights. On their first day, they do not walk up to the heaviest barbell in the gym and try to lift it. To do so would be to guarantee failure, injury, and a profound sense of discouragement. Instead, a wise lifter starts with a small, manageable weight. They lift it successfully. They feel the small victory, the successful effort. Day after day, they lift that manageable weight, and over time, their muscles adapt and grow stronger. Gradually, they add a little more weight. This process of stacking small, consistent wins is what eventually allows them to lift the immense weights they once thought impossible. Your resilience is this muscle. The inner conflict we face is that we often set huge, intimidating goals for ourselves. I'm going to write a novel. I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. I'm going to master my temper. And then we are paralyzed by the sheer size of the task. The problem with setting these overwhelming goals is that they often lead to procrastination and a cycle of failure that actively weakens our resilience. The goal is so daunting that we never even start. This inaction then creates feelings of guilt and self-loathing. We see ourselves as failures before we have even begun. This erodes our belief in our own ability to change and persevere. When a real external challenge appears, we have no muscle memory of success, no foundation of small wins to draw upon. Our resilience muscle is atrophied because we have never trained it with manageable weights. We have only ever stared at the impossible barbell and walked away in defeat. The transformative solution is to become a master of the small win. It is the art of breaking down any large goal or challenge into its smallest possible components and focusing only on achieving that next, small, undeniable victory. The core Stoic idea here is that confidence and resilience are not feelings you wait for. They are results you build. They are the byproducts of evidence. Every time you keep a small promise to yourself, every time you achieve a small planned goal, you are providing your mind with a piece of evidence that says, I am a person who can overcome challenges. I am a person who does what they say they will do. Resilience is built from the accumulated proof of your past successes, no matter how minor. You can begin to build your resilience muscle today with this actionable strategy. First, take any large goal you have and break it down into a laughably small daily action. Your goal is not write a novel. Your new goal is write 100 words today. Your goal is not get in shape. It is put on my running shoes and walk for 5 minutes today. The task must be so small that your mind has no room to make an excuse. Second, and this is crucial, you must consciously acknowledge and celebrate the small win. After you complete your 100 words, take a moment to feel the quiet satisfaction. Say to yourself, I kept my promise. I did the work. This act of acknowledgement is what cements the win in your psyche and builds the foundation of self-trust. The benefits of this approach are profound. You will overcome the paralysis of procrastination and begin making steady, consistent progress on your biggest goals. You will replace the feeling of being overwhelmed with a daily sense of accomplishment and momentum. You will systematically build an unshakable belief in your own ability to persevere through difficulty. When major life challenges arise, you will face them with a deep, quiet confidence, because you will have a long chain of evidence proving that you are a person who knows how to win. Your practice for this lesson is to take your biggest goal, break it down into a 5-minute daily action. Then do it. Today. This resilience is built not on the fickle feeling of motivation, but on the solid foundation of consistency. In our next lesson, we will explore this crucial distinction. Share this video with someone who needs to start with a small win. Lesson 5. Strength in consistency, not motivation. Imagine the sun. Every single morning, it rises in the east. It has done so for billions of years, and it will do so for billions more. The sun does not wait to feel motivated. It does not ask itself if it feels like it today. Its power, its life-giving energy, its absolute reliability is a function of its unwavering consistency. Its strength is its discipline. The inner conflict that plagues modern man is our obsessive reliance on motivation. We wait for a fleeting feeling of inspiration to strike before we take action on our most important goals. We believe we must first feel like doing something before we can do it. The fundamental problem with this approach is that motivation is a fickle, unreliable, and fleeting emotion. It is a terrible master. Some days it will be there, a powerful wind at your back. But on many other days, it will be completely absent. If your action is dependent on this feeling, then your life's progress will be sporadic, unpredictable, and subject to the whims of your emotional weather. You will have bursts of intense activity, followed by long follow periods of inaction and guilt. This is not a strategy for building a life of purpose and achievement. It is a recipe for frustration and mediocrity. Relying on motivation is a trap that keeps you from your true potential. The transformative solution is to make motivation irrelevant. It is the Stoic choice to build your life upon the unshakable bedrock of discipline and systems, rather than the shifting sands of feeling. It is the decision to become a professional in the pursuit of your own life, not an amateur. A professional athlete goes to practice whether they feel like it or not. A professional writer writes their pages whether they feel inspired or not. They show up because they are professionals, and that is what professionals do. The core Stoic idea is that the sage acts from duty and principle, not from passion or mood. The disciplined man does the work because it is his duty to his own highest self and to the values he has chosen, not because he is currently feeling a wave of motivation. You can begin to build this professional mindset with a few key, actionable shifts. First, you must divorce the decision to act from the feeling of wanting to act. Make the decision beforehand. For example, decide on Sunday that you will go to the gym on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. The decision is now made. It is no longer up for debate on Monday morning when you feel tired. Your job on Monday morning is not to decide, but simply to execute on a decision that was already made by your more rational, disciplined self. Second, create systems that reduce friction. If you want to work out in the morning, lay out your gym clothes the night before. If you want to write, leave the document open on your computer. Make it as easy as possible to start. The benefits of building your life on consistency, rather than motivation, are the benefits of becoming truly powerful. You will make more progress in a single consistent year than you did in 5 years of waiting for motivation. You will develop a deep and powerful sense of self-respect, knowing that you are a man of your word. You will be free from the emotional highs and lows of the motivation roller coaster. You will become a reliable, consistent force in the world. Like the sun, your power will come not from a fleeting feeling, but from your unshakable character. Your practice for this lesson is to stop asking, "Am I motivated?" and to start asking, "What did I commit to?" Choose one area of your life and treat your commitment with the seriousness of a professional. This shift from motivation to discipline is part of the larger project of mastering your own mind. In our next lesson, we will explore the Stoic tools for this ultimate endeavor. If you are ready to become a professional at your own life, hit the subscribe button for Stoic Ruler. Lesson 6. Mastering your mind with Stoicism. Imagine a skilled rider on the back of a powerful wild horse. An untrained rider is thrown about by the horse's every whim, a terrified passenger on a chaotic journey. They are completely at the mercy of the horse's power. A master rider, however, does not seek to break the horse's spirit, but to understand and guide its immense power with a gentle but firm hand. The rider and the horse become a partnership, a synthesis of power and intelligence. Your mind is that wild horse, powerful, energetic, and often chaotic. The inner conflict we face is that most of us are the untrained rider, feeling like victims of our own anxious thoughts, negative loops, and distracting impulses. The problem with an untrained mind is that it is a very stressful and inefficient place to live. It is a poor tool for building a good life. An uncontrolled mind is constantly dragged into the past by regret or into the future by anxiety. It is easily distracted from important tasks. It generates and magnifies negative emotions. It tells us stories about ourselves and the world that are often untrue and unhelpful. To live with an untrained mind is to live in a state of constant, low-grade inner turmoil. It is to be the terrified passenger, not the master rider, on the journey of your own life. The transformative solution is to commit to the Stoic project of becoming the master rider of your own mind. It is the understanding that your thoughts are not you, and that you can learn to guide and direct them with skill and discipline. The ultimate goal of all Stoic practice is to achieve a well-ordered mind, a mind that is clear, rational, and free from the disturbances of irrational judgments. This is not a passive state, but an active one. It requires daily practice, vigilance, and the skillful application of specific mental tools designed to tame the wild horse of the mind. You can begin to master your mind with two of the most powerful mental models from Stoicism. The first is the view from above, a practice Marcus Aurelius used constantly. When you are feeling overwhelmed by a problem or a negative emotion, close your eyes. Imagine yourself floating up, above your body. See the room you are in. Float higher, see your building, your city. Higher still, see your country as a patch of color on the globe. Float higher until you see the earth as a small blue marble in the vast, silent darkness of space. From this cosmic perspective, see your own life and the huge problem that is consuming you. See it for what it is, a tiny, fleeting event on a tiny planet in an incomprehensible vastness. This practice instantly shatters your ego's sense of self-importance and restores a sense of calm perspective. The second practice is objective description. When faced with something you desire or fear, describe it to yourself in clinical, objective terms. A fancy sports car is a transportation device made of metal, plastic, and rubber. This strips the object of the emotional story you have attached to it, reducing its power over you. The benefits of mastering your mind are the benefits of true freedom and peace. You will no longer be a victim of your own thoughts. You will develop the ability to remain calm and clear-headed in any situation. Your capacity for deep focus and problem-solving will increase dramatically. You will feel a sense of profound tranquility as you learn to quiet the inner noise. You will become the calm, confident master writer, guiding the immense power of your mind toward the destinations you have chosen. Your practice for this lesson is to try the view from above. The next time you feel stressed or overwhelmed, feel the instant shift in your perspective. This mastery of the mind, built through daily discipline, is what ultimately forges an unshakable confidence. In our final lesson, we will explore this connection. Lesson 7. Daily practice for unshakable confidence. Imagine a warrior, every single morning without fail, waking at dawn to sharpen their sword. They run the whetstone along the blade with a practiced, rhythmic motion. The sword is already sharp. But that is not the point. The confidence of the warrior comes not from possessing a sharp sword, but from the daily, disciplined act of sharpening it. The confidence is a byproduct of the discipline. It is a trust in their own readiness, a trust that has been earned each and every morning. The inner conflict we face is our belief that confidence is a personality trait we either have or we don't, or that it is something granted to us by external achievements like wealth or status. The problem with this view is that it makes confidence feel like a mysterious and unattainable quality. If you believe you weren't born with it, you feel helpless. If you believe it comes from external achievements, your confidence is fragile and contingent. The moment you lose the job or the money, your confidence shatters. This misunderstanding is what leads people to seek out confidence hacks or to adopt a persona of arrogance, trying to fake a feeling that they haven't earned. But true, unshakable confidence cannot be faked. It must be built. The transformative solution is to understand the profound Stoic truth that genuine confidence is a byproduct. It is the natural result of one simple thing: keeping the promises you make to yourself. That is all it is. Confidence is nothing more than the reputation you have with yourself. When you consistently prove to yourself, through the evidence of your daily actions, that you are a man of discipline, that you can be trusted to do the hard things you said you would do, you will naturally and inevitably feel confident. You will have earned your own trust. This confidence is unshakable because it is not based on any external outcome, but on the internal reality of your own character. The actionable step to build this confidence is to implement the daily promise. Every morning, as part of your routine, make one small, specific, and achievable promise to yourself that is aligned with your goals. For example, today I will not look at my phone for the first hour of the day. Or, today I will complete my 2-minute workout. Or, today I will drink only water. The promise must be 100% within your control. Then, at the end of the day, take 30 seconds to review. Did I keep my promise to myself? Each yes is a deposit into your self-trust account. Each kept promise is another sharpening of your sword. It is the daily evidence that you are a man of your word. The benefit of this practice is the creation of the most powerful form of confidence imaginable. It is a quiet, solid, and profound self-assurance that is completely independent of the opinions of others or the circumstances of your life. You will develop the courage to take on bigger challenges, knowing that you can trust yourself to persevere. You will walk through the world with a calm strength, free from the need for external validation. You will become the warrior whose confidence is not in the sword itself, but in the unwavering discipline with which he tends to it. Your final practice is to define your daily promise for tomorrow. Make it small, make it clear, and then keep it. That is where true confidence begins. You have journeyed through the 7 lessons of Stoic discipline, learning to replace the fleeting whims of motivation with the unshakable power of daily practice. From embracing the present to building confidence through kept promises, this is the path to seizing your time and mastering your mind. Thank you for your time and your dedication with Stoic Ruler. If this journey has provided you with value, please support our mission by liking this video, commenting with your own insights, and subscribing for more wisdom on the path to an unshakable life.